How have you been recovering since the injury and being out?
Yeah, doing well, thank you. Fingers getting much better.
Do you have a timeline as far as when you'll be able to start throwing again this offseason? Any sort of plan in that sense?
I would assume in maybe a month or so. Just doing everything I can to make sure the bone's healed up, and we've done a good job in the treatment room. So I'm sure that's something in the next couple of weeks we'll readdress. I know I have to go back up to LA for another checkup, but it has gotten better.
So if you get going in a month, would it be then just sort of a normal offseason? Like it wouldn't affect sort of your training regimen?
I would hope so. I think that's kind of the goal is get that thing better. Make sure that we're good to go, and as soon as we are, it's a normal off season. Hopefully this year.
Everything else, clean bill of health?
Yeah.
You don't have any off-season procedures or anything?
No. I never ended up getting one on the left hand. That one healed up pretty well, so I'm hoping that one will check out too. I know I'll get that one checked out when I go back up to LA, but that one turned out pretty well too.
Justin, was there talk of trying to play through it, or were you advised not to do that, or just kind of how did that come about?
Yeah, when I went back into the locker room, I threw a couple footballs trying to grip it, and I just couldn't move that finger at all. And so I ended up just doing my best for those 2-3 throws, and I unfortunately couldn't throw. And so they were recommending that I sat out, got the surgery a couple days after, and got it cleaned up.
So it's not like you tried to fight to play or anything. I mean, you were, I guess, just listening to what the doctors told you, basically.
I went in there expecting to go back out and playing. I thought it was kind of like this finger where,
okay.
I
in
thought
terms of like after you saw the doctor after the game and after a few more games, before you had the surgery, did you push it all to try to play through it, or were you told basically?
Oh, with the surgery done, we knew that there was no shot of.
I guess what I'm saying, like before you had surgery, like the discussion, was it do you want to have surgery or not, or were you told you should need to have surgery?
I was told that I needed it. I needed it. Sorry, that was my bad. I should have known that. No, I was told to have normal functioning finger, I need to have surgery.
That was my next question. I'm assuming based on it's your right hand, it's a pretty important finger, right? So the idea, I guess, was let's get this right so that it's not an issue going forward.
Yeah, correct. It was to have normal use of it going forward. You're going to have to clean it up. You're going to have to reset it and make sure it's in the right position.
Okay.
Justin, we haven't talked to you since obviously Brandon got fired, Tom got fired. Just what your reaction to sort of how that went down and what happened?
Yeah, I think it's a really tough situation because those two men, we've got so much respect for them, and we know how much they gave to this organization, and it's never fun when you go through a situation like that because I've got a world of respect for both of them, and we fell short for them, and it's unfortunate, but we are the ones that I missed the throws, we missed the catches, we didn't make the tackles, we didn't do enough for them, and so that's on us this offseason going into it where we have to do things differently. We have to be better, and we have to be honest with ourselves watching this film. And that's one of the good things about having that time is we can really be honest with each other. And we know that we've got the right guys in here to be able to work together and make this thing go. But it's on us to be better because of it.
So just looking into the future, you're obviously you signed the contract. You're here. You're going to be the franchise quarterback. You're one of the few guys on this roster that's definitely going to be here. So like, what are you looking for? Like, what do you think the team needs as far as a leadership person, a coach, a GM, whatever it is? Like, what's sort of your approach to that as the franchise quarterback?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that's probably something that in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, I know that they're working on that, and we've got complete faith and trust in the front office to do their job, and they've done a great job so far. And hopefully I'm able to talk with them and offer whatever advice I have. Having been in the league for 4 years, I hope that I'm getting better with understanding and seeing things the way they are. But there's definitely room for improvement, and I can't wait to watch all this film, especially my 4 years here, that I know that I can address, I can get better at, and just looking forward to getting better and playing better football.
So your hope is that you would have some sort of involvement. I'm not saying that it's your job, but that you would, be able to talk to ownership and sort of, say sort of what your ideas are, what you're looking for, like that they would hear you out in that sense.
I think it's more so that that we've got complete trust in them, and if they came to me and they needed my viewpoint or anything like that, my perspective, I'd love to offer it. But like I said, I believe in them. They've done such a great job taking care of us as players that we believe in them, and however they handle this process, we're going to be here and we're going to do everything we can to support them 100%.
For you, though, what would it be like facing the prospects that you could have a fourth different offensive coordinator in your fifth season?
Yeah, it's obviously tough. It's a tough situation, and I think Kellen has done such a great job. And I wish that we could have done more for him, and that's the tough part about playing football. But I really believe in Kellen. I believe in these guys, and I know that the front office, kind of like I said, they're going to do everything they can to make this thing right, and we've got 100% faith in them. And whatever route they end up going, we're going to be with them all the way.
Has it been hard for you at all with, learning new offenses with the changes that you had at that spot?
It's football. It's part of the job, and that's up to us to be able to figure that out and keep going with that.
What was it like for you just watching these last 4 or 5 games, just being on the sidelines and kind of not being able to have a role?
It hurts not being able to play. That's the toughest part of going out there and seeing your teammates, guys that you battle with all year, and not being able to do what you'd like to do for them, to go out there and play. But I think it's awesome to see the way they fought and the way they battled and came together for these past couple of weeks. And it could have been real easy for a lot of them to shut it down and quit, but these guys stuck together, and it was awesome watching Stick go out there and play and battle and compete. And I thought he did a great job stepping in. And there are obviously things that we can do better, but watching them fight and compete, I gained a new appreciation for that.
What is just going back to going through all these different offensive coordinators, offensive systems, learning new systems? What is valuable about having continuity when you're the quarterback? Having continuity in system, having continuity in play caller.
Well, I think it goes into the offseason program and where you show up in April and you've got a sense of comfort, and hey, we've been through this, we know what we're talking about. Let's expand upon the things that we do well. Let's expand upon the things that we know, and here are things that we did last year that maybe we need to change or maybe we need to readdress. And I think having that framework of football and of 17 games of film that you can go back and look on, I think that's really helpful for an offense.
And so you experienced that obviously with Joe. Year 1 of 2 of Brandon. I know you got hurt early in that season with the ribs, but did you experience that in that first off season after playing for him for 1 year, where you sort of started to realize the benefits of continuity?
Yeah, going into the second year with Joe, you feel much more comfortable with the offense. You know that, hey, we've ran this for a year, and where the wristband was a big thing a couple of years ago, you kind of move on from that because you really understand the call, you really understand what you're doing, and you get a feeling for what Joe wanted to call. And so I think going into that offseason, I had a much better feel for the offense, and so I don't think you have to rely on the wristband as much. Obviously, you can still go back to it, but I think those are just some of the little things that really make a difference.
Do you feel like the upheaval at Oregon, the 3 coaches in 4 years, and having to do the different offensive systems maybe help prepare you for kind of what's gone on here?
I think experiences like that are always helpful. You look at them 2 ways. It can hurt you, or you can learn from it. And I think having gone through that, we had a great group of guys in that locker room that stuck together. And it could have gone much worse. But for us to stick together and ride that throughout, and ended up winning a Rose Bowl our senior year, I thought that was huge. And that's just part of the game of being a professional and going about your business. And it's up to us to understand the playbook. It's up to us to learn it, to go through it, and make sure that everyone's dialed into it. So I think that's one of the great things about this locker room as well.
Give you hope that there could be a quick turnaround here, just what you experienced there?
In terms of how quickly
how quickly you can turn things around here.
Oh, yeah. I think, you're able to see that in a year or two, and that's, our hope, especially for this place, is it wasn't good enough this year, and that's on us and as players, and there are things that we need to do, like I said earlier, that we have to address and we have to get better at. But there are the right guys, there's the right mindset here, and there are things that we have to fix, little things, but I'm really looking forward to what we're able to do this offseason and getting back to it.
We talked to Corey. He said he's likely to retire. What just your relationship with him, and what has he meant to you?
Corey's been awesome. He's such a great leader and such a great teammate for this team, and what he's given this game over the past few years is remarkable, and we're definitely going to miss a guy like that if he decides to retire. And he's meant so much to me, and especially that quarterback room who he's helped so much, and just talking about football, just talking about life, and all the things that we've talked about with him. The game will definitely miss him.
Justin, I know you said you kind of let the front office will do their job for the search. I mean, with the uncertainty around a lot of the guys on the offense, from Keenan and Mike, are you the kind of person that would go and advocate for players like I want to play with this person, or had a good experience with this person too, whoever the next regime might be, or do you kind of just let that unfold how it does?
I would say kind of the same answer. Where if they need my advice, they need anything that I've got, my perspective, I'd love to offer it. They've been great with me so far over the past 4 years, and I'll continue to do my best at quarterback. I understand that that's my position and that's my role. With it come other responsibilities. But I've really enjoyed playing with all these guys, and whatever they decide to do, I'm with them 100%.